Welcome back to another anime review. We are reviewing an anime that I can't pronounce it because it's in Japanese, but whatever. So we are reviewing an anime that the main character is two main characters. The only two characters I'm gonna say give character development of this review because the rest of the characters I'll explain later. Um, but let's start with the theme song. Theme song's not as catchy. I did not like it, but that's just my opinion. Now the main plot of the series. The dad is he draws manga. He has a great series called Great Balls of Fire, and it's toilet humor, so to speak. The main thing that I would like to say this though is the fact that he is really he's trying to hide it from his 10-year-old daughter. If you must know where the mother is, she is missing at sea, and he tries to pay a hunter to find her, even though it's kind of pointless because she's been missing for like 2 or 3 years, I believe. But that's beside the point. Okay. Her mother's side and her dad's side, I'll explain later. But anyway, as I was saying, the father tries to hide he tries to hide it from the daughter until she's 18, and then she finds out because one of his former coworkers used to gave her a key to find out where the heck she is. He hides all the stuff from her from the Taku place, which at the same house that they're living in, sort of. Because the house that because he has two houses, one that's filled with all the stuff that he's trying to hide from her. That he and her mother were her, him, his daughter, and his wife were trying to live together, but that house got abandoned because she went missing. So he made a new house, the same model as the same house, until he got it up for sale. We'll explain that later. But anyway, he draws manga, and then eventually he stops at age 13. He tries to stop at age 13. He does part-time jobs here and there. Now, when he's a manga artist, on the other hand, though, he is trying to hide it from his daughter. He does. He goes to he goes to very vicious, extreme measures. I mean, the first thing that he does is that he tells his daughter that he's in a strict office, and he goes to work even though he can go to work with his like a t-shirt and a pair of shorts. That's what he does in the anime. But he goes to work when he leaves the house. He goes to work wearing a suit. That's called dedication. I'm trying to hide the secret from her daughter. The other thing that I like to say this is the fact that the whole entire time, because they have two scenes of the daughter. The daughter, when she's 10, she's sort of like an airhead, so to speak, and she doesn't know what the character is doing, and that's the main problem I have with her, is the fact that she's too airheaded. I mean, she does see him like twice when she's 10 years old, but she doesn't register in her brain that that's her father, and that's the whole problem with that. But that's infuriating in itself, to my opinion. The other thing is the fact that the first scene that you see her, she's 18. There are two sides. She's 18 and she's 10. The 10-year-old is pretty much the main story of the anime. The 18-year-old doesn't pop up every now and again with the same characters that come in. She does have friends, but I'll explain that later. I'm not going to explain every character because there are a lot of characters, but we'll explain it when we explain it. Okay? When it comes to this anime, however, there's just one problem I have with it. The main character. She they tease the father that he is dead. The problem is though he is not dead. He got hit. He quit when she was 13, and then he was using a forklift to carry out a big bag of manga, and the bag ripped, and he got collapsed and he was unconscious for a year. The thing is the fact that he is perfectly fine. He wakes up a year later, but he's not perfectly fine, as I presume. He lost his memory. He lost his memory until he was 10. What do I mean by that? He loses his memory to the point where he can remember only when she was 10 years old, and he doesn't know what she looks like. That's the main issue. Okay. That's the only issue I have with it. The other thing is the fact that after she wants him back normally, even though even though she gets to see what his dad used to do when he was up in up in the kid, but whatever. But anyway, when he was used to working with the manga, because back in the day he used to quit. At the end of the anime, though, he decides to get back into manga by doing the same thing. Now then, that's the main plot. The main plot of the anime. There are some twists of this anime, like the father and mother of the daughter's the main character, who is the 18-year-old. She finds out some interesting stuff that's a kind of a plot twist that I didn't even understand. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? That's what they do, and that was like one. Wow, I didn't expect that to happen. I'm not gonna spoil it because you have to watch every single episode, so you guys can go ahead and watch it. But that's beside the point. That's the only anime that I can understand. That's the only part, and that's on episode 12 that has that wow factor. Um, when it comes to the side characters, on the other hand, that's where it gets a little interesting and a little dicey. My main problem is with the whole entire, and this is the main reason why it's not getting an 8, 9, or 10. It might get a 6 or 5. You never know, but anyway. The main reason is the side characters. My main problem with the side characters is the fact that they don't really interact with each other that much. When it comes to the side characters, so to speak, how do I put that in words that you guys can understand? Pretty much, when she's at school or when she's at a certain place, you know what characters are gonna be there. That's the main problem I have with it. When the main character that is the father is that work, it's always the same work people. Same goes for at home. When you know that the characters are at home, the only characters that show up is the housemaid, which she's also into the main plot. And when the main daughter is at school, she has her friends and the teacher there. Okay. There are some characters that show up at both sides, are the three women that fall in love with the main dad because he flirts with them even though he doesn't really know it. I can remember two of them. I can't remember the third one. I apologize in advance. Which is kind of, actually no, there's only two of them. The two girls are the flower girl, which she comes up, and the mom, the woman who teaches them how to cook fried chicken, which is kind of funny. Um, but when you see a area of the setting of the place, you already know what character is gonna be there. The only character that, other than the two main characters, that don't have, I mean, there are some areas where where all the characters show up, or like some characters come into this play, but it's not very often. The only character that shows up in both areas both settings frequently, which means like the character comes into his house or intertwines with everyone else and stuff like this, that, and the other thing, is the editor. The editor is the only character that goes into both places most frequently, and that's where it gets interesting. The other interesting is that his editor is a freaking tool, which I think is funny. Uh, and he actually says that too, which is kind of hilarious too. He is a dork. He is a nerd, but that's what I like about him. Now, the other main problem I have with it is that it's a solid anime, but the main problem I have with it is that it doesn't have that much wow factor. I mean, the wow factor that happens at the episode 12, which I'm not going to spoil that because you guys can watch it yourself if you want to. But that's the only part where it's like, wow, I didn't expect them to say that. But that's the whole issue with the anime. I don't understand why none of the episodes were like boring to me. It's just that it was just there. It's still pretty good. I was still interested at the very end of the anime, but the problem is though is the fact that because it doesn't have that wow factor or anything like that, I will probably have to give this I will probably have to give this a 7. Um the main reason because of the fact that it doesn't have that wow factor. And I think that's due to the fact that to my opinion, I need that something that comes out of the blue, like this, that, and the other thing. But sometimes they don't like to do that, and I think that's the main problem of the anime, from my perspective. Like I said before, I watched this anime, the first 4 episodes in Japanese, and then I watched it all in English dub. It's now in English dub; you can watch it. But I think that the main problem I have with it is the main reason is the fact that you know what characters are going to be in each setting, except for the editor. The editor comes in from here to there. But the main problem is the fact that it doesn't have that wow factor like most animes do. That are in the top tiers of 8, 9, and 10. When I rate 8, 9, and 10 means that they have like a few or many more wow factors, and that's why, or twists and turns. This one only had one twist, and I didn't understand why they had that twist, but whatever. But I have to give this one a 7. I apologize if I know that a lot of people like this anime. I did not. If it gets a second season, I'll watch it like I normally do. But to be frankly honest with you, it's okay. I mean, it's still good to my opinion. I mean, I still give it a solid 7. But and the fact that I'm giving it a 7 is the fact that I didn't lose interest in the anime until like episode 7 or 8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12 were just like there. I mean, it was funny at times. I mean, there's comedy in there, but other than that, though, it's pretty not that interesting to my opinion, but I still give it a 7. It's still pretty good. I hope you guys have a nice positive day. Um, by the way, if you watch the rest of these anime reviews, when I do anime reviews from now on, I'm gonna try not to swear because I want to explain what the anime is instead of just like swearing like a sailor like most of the times. I just want to let you guys know that. So when it comes to the video games though footage, I'm still gonna swear because that's what I do. Cha-ching! But yeah, when I do these anime reviews from now on, I'm just gonna like tell you guys how it is. I'm not gonna swear that much. So I hope you guys have a nice positive day. Take care and stay positive. Always keep a smile on your face, and hopefully life treats you like with kindness and respect. That's what my opinion is. Okay, later, guys. Woohoo!